There's a hot and sour shrimp with, oh, this is an old book. It's an old book. I've been using it for years. I guess I bookmarked something. I can't remember what it is now. All right, well, we've got an egg flour soup, Japanese fish stock, clear broth with see-through wontons, garden stock, unclassic fumet, chicken stock, beef stock, shrimp with garlic, almond pesto, fragrant mussel. Ooh, that sounds kind of good. Hot stuff. I think that we'll probably start with the fish in an oven bag. That sounds all right. All right, if you don't have an oven bag, you'll need one for this recipe. These special cooking bags are available at most supermarkets. And by my house, there's a supermarket. It's a Fairway. Usually in the aluminum foil wax paper section. So if you're looking for it, it's there. They're great for microwaving fish that appreciate extra moist cooking like swordfish, tuna, steak, shark and smallmouth fish, trout, that kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? So first, shake about 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters of flour around in the bag. Just shake it, give it a good shake, and add about a pound. If you like grams, that's 450 grams of fish, and then add about a cup of chopped fresh vegetables, herbs. I like parsley, I like cilantro, I like dill, I like thyme, I like all of the herbs. Tomatoes, onions, basil, thyme, as I said, is one combination that goes well with swordfish. Then after that, you tie a knot in the top of the bag. And this is the bag that you get at the Fairway. They also probably have them at, you know, if you go to like Tom Thumb or Dwayne Reed, I don't know, your grocery store, but they probably have it. Set it on a plate for easy handling and then microwave on full power for about 4.5 minutes. That'll be a good one. I like to plate it on a red plate if I use swordfish. I think the colors really look nice, you know? Yeah. What else we got? Swordfish brochettes with green olive marinade. I don't think so. Chicken scallopini with tomato butter and ziti. If you can't find fresh ripe plum tomatoes, use canned ones. That's easy. Honey chicken on rice. Ginger chicken bundles. Picnic chicken from Japan. That sounds nice. I've never been to Asia. I'd be interested in going. This would have 4 servings, 128 calories per serving. And you can do it with like a currying flavor, those packets you can get at the Fairway of curry powder, and you know, mix it, tie it in the bag and shake it. And you just give it a shake again like the last one, and you throw it in that microwave. You throw it in and you do 4.5 minutes, whatever you see fit. What else? Chicken with star fruit and chilies. I don't think so. Korean sesame beef, no. Some of these photos look good though. Raisin oat granola. African corn and peanut pudding. Apricot snack bars. Cheesecake mousse with raspberry lemon glaze. Peach bread pudding with pecans. I don't think so. Fruit salad from Kariba. I don't know that. My husband Tommy, he always says to me, when I go to the store and I get those baby corns, you know those little cans of baby corns? I get those and he says, honey, baby corn is not corn. And I always think, it is. It is. We could also get skewered beef and peanut sauce. They really like peanut sauce in this book. I like peanut sauce too. Frozen lime and honey mousse. Edible cups for sweets. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Soft tortillas with picadillo filling. Served with corn on the cob sliced ripe tomatoes. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Well, this is a spaghetti tort. I think that's funny. It's microwavable too.
Did you see Bill Gates on the Ellen show doing The Price is Right? I don't know why that reminded. Yeah, well, price. He was doing like a Price is Right on the Ellen show, and you know, like on The Price is Right, you have to like guess how much like grocery items cost and stuff. And the first thing he saw was like a rice-a-roni, like a little bag of rice or like a box of rice.
Yeah.
You guess it was $10. He thought
What?
It was like a dollar.
Bill
I mean, it's like a
Gates?
dollar.
Oh, because he doesn't go shopping. He's just
he
he has no
just
concept of
concept.
humans because he's like
Yeah,
too rich.
Yeah, he was like thought that was like a
Wow.
$10 was like a dollar, like, and then he was definitely lowballed detergent because detergent's expensive.
Yeah.
Those little Tide Pods are actually like expensive. It's like $5. It was like $25.
Oh no,
It's
it's like it's 1998.
yeah, it's like a little more than that.
Higher than that.
Yeah.
Do you use Tide Pods?
No.
Do you do your own laundry or do you drop off
Yeah, I do laundry, but it's like $10. Like when I end up doing like at my
with quarters?
yeah,
it's $10
like at my old apartment in Hollywood. I was in Hollywood. Oh, it's grimy, so grimy. I'm so glad I got out of there. Yeah, in Hollywood, I had washer dryer in my unit, and then when I moved over to like Brentwood, Santa Monica area, they had a laundry unit, but like it's $2 for wash, $2 for dry. So it's like I got my whites, wash dry, darks, wash dry, delicates. So that's $10 right there, like per like whenever I do my laundry and stuff. But
I like hearing like routine things. What's your what's your night routine? Do you go to bed watching TV?
mm-mm.
Do you go to bed reading? Do you have the lights off?
Actually, let me think about that. It changes. It changes depending on. I feel like maybe for a month or two, I'll do like the same type of stuff. Like there was an extended period of time where it's like, oh, I'm just watching 30 Rock and eating and like going to bed. And then other times it's like, oh, I'm going to like a lot of like art. I'm going to a lot of art and design events like around the city. And I think when I first moved out to LA, I was definitely doing way more activities during the nighttime because I had a New Year's resolution to do a weeknight activity.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, like I think it was 2 or 3 times a week or two
Yeah.
times a week. So, because I feel like I mean, I know you always feel exhausted after work. You just want to go home. It's much easier to just go home and not do anything. But the weekends are too short they're too short. So it's like.
Yeah, you got to do stuff on the weeknights. Also
Yeah.
to like just better yourself.
Yeah, better yourself. I feel like it extends, somehow the day is extended, I feel like, when you do things. I don't
Yeah.
know where the hours go when I go home, and it's like by the time I make the food, watch TV, it's like, oh, I gotta start getting ready for bed. It's time to go to bed. I'm like, I didn't do anything today. All I did was like sit at the office all day, and then the day is done. And somehow I feel like time extends when you actually like fill up the time with things. Like I don't even know
I agree.
how that works, but it does. I feel like maybe when, I was talking about this at work because we were trying to figure out why is that. And maybe part of it, like what we were thinking is, I mean, maybe part of it is like when the days are monotonous and you're doing the same stuff, I feel like your brain just kind of like compresses it into just like one thing. And then when you start to like mix it up and add things, I don't know, somehow your mind has like multiple items now that it just kind of like expands it back out instead of just be like, that was work, that was the week, and it's like, oh, we did all these things and like this was the week. So yeah, I mean, I actually like that New Year's resolution. It was fun. I was just like exploring, and it didn't have to be a real thing. It was just like anything I would see. It didn't have to be like, oh, Beyonce's in town. It could just be like,
it's like go to the gallery down the street.
like one time, it's like one time Igor and I went, there were like bunny installations like downtown. And we were like, let's go find all the bunny installations
That's
downtown.
cool.
Like, I know most of my friends would be like, Arden, that's not.
I don't.
That's not a.
I know. I think
like-
it's such a good quality when people are. That's my
Yes.
favorite quality in a person. Is like people who will like drop anything to do something. Like a
Yes.
friend that you call at like 4 o'clock on a Saturday and they're not doing anything. They're like, yeah, I'll go.
Yes, because you're not doing
to the
anything.
park or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like people who are interested in just doing things I like. I like those
Yeah.
kind of people.
Yeah, I really like that. I think that's a good and rare quality in people where it's like they don't need a reason to go do stuff. It hasn't been a real thing. It's just the main event is hang out with your friend. Whatever you do, it'll be fun because you're hanging out with your friend. Like,
Yeah.
that, so I just like, it's rare to like find a person where, you have like kind of a bullshitty idea in mind of like what to do and they're like, oh, no, sure,
Yeah.
whatever. And I feel like even when the event is weird or stupid or dumb, it ends up being funny too. It ends up being fun. Like whether the event is fun, it's fun, and whether the event is really not fun,
And it's like
fun.
almost always not fun, but if you're in good company,
Yes,
it's so fun
it's
because it's like, what was that?
Yeah,
That was
like,
so funny and
why
weird.
did we do that? And
Yeah.
and yeah, honestly, the only time where it sucks is when it's just nothing, just like kind of like Suicide Squad. I felt like
Did you
like
see that?
it wasn't
Oh,
good.
the movie, okay.
I just mean like it wasn't good. And it wasn't like terrible. It was just like a weird in between where I was like, now I hate it even more because it wasn't even like I couldn't
It's just
even
like
really pick
what was
out.
the point of making this? Like,
Yeah, it's just
nothing.
a waste of. I was like, man, there wasn't even so much to shit on because it wasn't like, oh my God, like this was horrible and that was horrible and that was horrible. I was like, I don't even know, did anything happen these past like 2 hours?
Yeah. That's kind of weird. That's like kind of Sofia Coppola, though. That's like kind of, I think when she has movies that nothing happens, like Somewhere, was it Somewhere? With like Elle
Somewhere.
Fanning or something.
Oh, I didn't see
And
that.
and like nothing happened. Like if you entered the movie at the beginning or you entered the movie at the end,
Yeah.
there's no progression.
Right.
Just here's a little slice of life. But I'm guessing Suicide Squad is different.
just like
But I
it.
know what you mean.
And,
if there's no arc. But sometimes that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not even saying that.
But not in an
stuff-
action movie.
Yes, not in
No,
an
no,
action
no,
movie.
no.
That's the difference. It's like what's the the director who did like Boyhood and
Richard
Dazed and Confused?
Linklater?
Yeah, Richard Linklater. It's like he doesn't have anything happen in his movies, but I feel like it's different because
Right.
there's
'cause
not.
it's like character based.
It's character
like,
based.
It is
Yeah,
slice
it's not
of life.
plot driven. Like Suicide Squad is supposed to be plot driven. Oh wait, there wasn't a plot, so that tanked. So, but with Boyhood or whatever, I think it's. I mean, I don't mind just. Yeah, like I don't mind just exploring, human emotions, whatever, as long as it's different emotions. Like with, if I complain about, not to just complain about movies or anything, but with Manchester by the Sea, it was like, I mean, I get human emotion. It was just one emotion the whole time. Like he was sad. Like that was the movie for like 2 hours. Like he was sad. I was like, okay.
I can't think
It's
about that guy. I don't like him.
Yeah, so
Although the guy who wrote it, Kenneth Lonergan, is a great playwright. And I just, in fact, saw his play last night,
he wrote it, okay.
Lobby Hero.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It starred like Michael Cera
Oh, okay.
and the guy from Atlanta that I don't remember his name, but he was so good.
I always want to say,
Belle Polly.
I was like Danny Glover. I get them confused because
Oh,
one's an old black man,
not
and one's
him.
a young black man.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Donald Glover was not in this, but it's like I can't remember who he plays in. I only saw a couple episodes of Atlanta, but I liked it. But he was so good on stage. And I thought the whole play, the first act was interesting, and then it kind of like, it dropped off. Like the end was like someone touching someone's shoulder and going like, okay. It was like, that's such a cop-out. That's such an easy ending. But I think that's like, plays are hard to end, but
Yeah.
that's funny because it's the same writer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like also it's kind of, I feel like the reason why I'm okay too with something like a Richard Linklater film is because it's weird. I feel like that's kind of how, I mean, it is kind of how life is, where it feels like nothing's happening, and yet by the end, when you look back, everything's changed. And like, I don't even know how or
Yeah.
why, but it does. It does. Like, and I kind of feel like that's how the movies end up working. Like, nothing's happening, and then yet it's like all different than it was at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's a good point.
yeah. I feel like even being now, like, I'm about to turn 26. I'm like, I graduated from college 4 years ago, and it just felt, it's like interesting. Everything's, I don't know.
Oh yeah, when you think about that feels like a different life.
Yeah.
We've
Also,
lived multiple lives, if you think about it.
yeah.
High school, different life than college, different life than now, different life than even 2 years ago. Like
Yeah.
2 years ago could have felt like a different life.
Yeah. And
That's weird.
And it's interesting, up until post-college, it was kind of, there was kind of it was kind of all written for you. It's like, oh, you go to lower school, you go to middle school, you go to high school, like you go to college for like most people, a lot of people, you go to college, and then, oh, you got a couple choices as to what you can major in or do with your time while you're in college, but it's like, multiple choice quiz, and then when you graduate, it's just like, anything goes. It's like, I could
Yeah,
quit
but
my
that
job
takes a
and go
long time to realize that, because there's still like parents and there's still like, not everyone, but like, I think some situations where you're like, wait, I do have the control.
Yeah.
that, or like I still have a job. You feel, at least I felt for a long time like, no, this is like school being, like having a job, like a 9 to 5. Like I still have these responsibilities that make me feel like I don't feel like I have all the choices. And then you kind of like one day realize you do.
Yeah, you do.
And you're like, oh, what? And that is a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
Yeah.
It's scary, but
it's
wonderful.
Scary. That's the thing. And it's over. I think sometimes the amount of autonomy that you have post-college is scary enough for most people that you just stick with the 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be, because you're too scared to like take advantage of the fact that you can do whatever you want. Like I mean, it's like I quit my job and I'm gonna go travel. Like I can do that if I want to. Like I don't have to just keep doing. I mean, obviously not everyone has that choice. Like I mean, luckily I'm now in the position where like I've saved up and I can do that. Like obviously it's not that simple for everybody, but I mean like, if you find out that you're passionate about something, like you can in theory just like drop what you're doing and just do that. Like nobody's telling you not to, unless of course it's like obviously things are more complicated if you've got a husband or wife.
Or like a dog. That's like the reason to not have a pet, because it's like you can't just drop whatever you're doing.
You got a little
You can't
kiddo.
stay out too late because you gotta let the dog out.
You gotta let the
I
dog
don't
out.
want a
To
dog.
poop all in your living.
I don't want that. You know, that's why I would not have an animal.
Yeah, and it just thinks like in New York or something, I'm gonna be like cooped up like all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is kind of crazy though. Like, you can just do. It's so weird. Like I could start a juice company tomorrow. I just had like I'm gonna start.
You've thought about that. I feel like you've really toyed with that idea, and I'm that's sort of why I invited you on the show
but now I'm
talk
like,
about your juice company that now you're gonna kick back and start.
Well, I mean, just because the market is so saturated, like at this, like, the drink that I make is really good, and it's other places. It's like I feel like you see it other places around the world, but not really here.
Right.
But I feel like unless I bring coconut water here, it'll just be another drink on the shelf.
Wasn't it hibiscus?
Yeah. But like, yeah, that like agua de Jamaica, it's like they've got it in Egypt and Spain, Mexico, whatever, like different, like slightly different versions of it, a lot of places, but there are a lot of places who drink it, you know, like it's like a street drink, whatever. But
I always wonder how that works when there's like something like kombucha, which I like kombucha, but I only like certain kinds.
Yeah.
But think about how many brands there are and how many people trying to sell it. And so like Whole Foods sells like 10 different kinds, let's just say. It's like, do any
Buddha's
of those make
Delight.
money?
Buddha's Delight, that's
Buddha's
one.
Delight?
Yeah.
I drink
one.
GTs. I haven't had Buddha's Delight.
GTs are everywhere. Like Buddha's Delight, you know, Whole Foods does local stuff too.
Yeah.
Next time you're home in Dallas, you
Oh,
should
it's a
do,
Texas thing?
Yeah, because it's from Austin, so it's only at the like, yeah, it's only around there. You can't like, I don't think you can get it. That's the good thing and the bad thing about Whole Foods. It's like, wow,
The local stuff,
yeah,
and then you
local
can't get it
stuff.
wherever. Yeah.
You can't get it everywhere, but
But I just wonder how much they actually make
Right.
by doing any of that.
yeah, it's
Like all the bars you can have. Like I'm obsessed with Go Macro bars. I eat them every day. They're so good. They're vegan. They're non-GMO. I mean, I'll sell them to you later.
free
But-
trade, farm to table.
No, it's just like, it's like they have the. They're just stupid. But I eat them every day because it's easier to eat that kind of thing like at work than me bringing like a.
The bacon.
Sure. Well, I don't eat meat, but like if I were to eat something like or like
That's good for
oatmeal
you.
and like go into the microwave
Yeah,
it. No, this is just like a quick done. And I don't know how they make money. There's so many companies. Like sure, Kind bars probably make a ton of money because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Like every airport.
Yeah.
But they
And on Delta.
like all those little ones that are like, oh, this Chia Friend bar. Like
Yeah.
who the hell's buying?
Or like Good Girl
And how
Bar.
much- Good Girl
It's
bar.
like,
how
we
much money are
support
they making?
local girls' schools with every bar purchased.
Or even like water brands. It's like 5 cents goes to whatever. It's like all of these brands. It's like, how are you making money?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Like I do think about that because like we have, like I have thought about that before. Like I think about we got little snacks that would get delivered to our office. Like sometimes I look at them, like look at the snacks, and be like, who are the people behind this little thing? Like
Who's buying her?
banana nuts. And I'm like, oh, like, I wonder if there are just like
weird.
5 people at a factory like. We're crazy
Yeah, is
about
it
our
a
little-"
factory? Is it like 10 people doing a startup? Like there's like, or what the model is for something. I guess you just have to get a lot of funding beforehand and then you make it back later. I don't know.
Yeah,
Think about
I
how
mean-
much something gets packed. I don't know.
I mean, you
I don't-
definitely have to have funding ahead of time. Like I mean, yeah.
And then I guess you just like do go door to door to like West Side Market, all the grocery stores, and you're like, hey, try my product. Or do you have
Right.
to like sell at weird expos at the Javits Center? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's like at first I was thinking like, oh, if I did this juice, like what would I do? I was like, do I go to farmers markets like first? Do I go
That
to
would
farmers
probably be smart.
like farmers markets? And I was thinking like, yeah, I guess you gotta go, like maybe you go into Whole Foods and there's probably a special person that you somehow have to talk to. I don't know if they just let you talk to them, the person who's in charge of like getting all the food stuffs, like in all the products and stuff in Whole Foods, but.
Maybe because, well, every time I've tried to work for Go Macro, just because I'm so passionate about them, I Google like, what their jobs are, and I would think I would do something more like on a, I don't know what I would do for them, but the jobs that are available are always like standing outside of Whole Foods and selling them, which I always think is weird because it's like, I wonder why Whole Foods would let them do that.
Yeah, like what, brand reps or something?
Also, what's interesting right now is that Cynthia Nixon is running for New York governor. Did you hear?
Yeah, I saw that on my Bing thing because
You
I
have
just got
Bing?
I got a new
Arden
laptop.
Youngblood.
I got a Windows. I decided
You got a Windows laptop?
I decided no
Wow.
more bullshit with this Mac. Like the Macs, I was gonna get the MacBook, and then I saw.
Then you were like, I
And then I was
really
like-
like Bing as my search engine.
It was like no ports, no
So
anything.
instead of saying like,
and I was
hey, Arden, Google it, people are going to say, hey, Bing it.
That's why I always wonder. Like you Yahoo it, you Bing it. Like
Does Yahoo still go around?
I don't know, but it's like yes, it's like I have a Windows laptop. I like my laptop though. I like it. It's cool. I finally made the plunge because also, it's like, the Mac I was looking at has like no ports, anything. I don't want any more
It's
of
better
these
to play Sims on a
converters.
PC.
Oh, well, there you go. That'll be an advantage then.
You like The Sims, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, like Taylor Bush. I have a lot of memories of like Taylor Bush introducing me to like Sims 2. I remember going to her house and be like, whoa, Sims 2
Can you
is like
speak
so
Sims?
realistic. No.
Do you want to know how they say I have to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
They go like, Sabanafu, Sumakanesia. They're like kind of waving at you. And you're like, what are you doing? Oh, you have to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
And then they go.
Oh, so like
I love The
didn't-
Sims.
I didn't realize that apparently the like radio, I was listening to this on like Kiss FM or something, or one of those radio shows where, I love Kiss FM. I'll get back to Ryan Seacrest in a second, but
Okay.
I was listening to, like, somebody was talking about how, he was talking about how he just heard the like new Carly Rae Jepsen song or something, and he was like, yeah, I really liked it. It was like, I really liked it. It was catchy, whatever. And then I realized like I couldn't understand like a single word she was saying, and he listened. He was like, oh, it's like gibberish or something. And he was like listening to the Sims version or something. And I guess apparently they're like Sims version. Yeah, it's like they have Sims
I love
versions.
that song, Lock It.
Yeah,
Yeah, haven't you seen Katy Perry sing?
Yes, and Katy
last
Perry.
Friday night.
Yes,
Zubin flagging door.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so
They played
weird.
that
I
audio
love
clip
it.
of her in the studio doing the Sims recording.
I think that's the
last
funny.
Friday night.
Nothing makes me laugh more than seeing Katy Perry do the Sims version of any song. Because then you have them go to a party, the Sims like have a party, and then they're playing their music, and it'll go from like samba.
Yeah.
They have like 3 like classic Sims songs that come on. And then it'll go like Zubin flagging door. It's Katy Perry.
She
You're
was
like, how much
in the
did you get
recording
paid for that?
She was in the recording studio, like dirty birdie googie pop. Like I can't believe that. Like what? And then my sister just showed me this weekend. She was really crushing on some American Idol like contestant. She just couldn't keep it together. She was just interrupted him at one point. And was like, "You're just so hot." Like he was like trying to tell his story about his mom and stuff. She's like, "You're just so hot." And I was
Wow.
like, oh. Okay, KP, keep it together. But the one little side note I want to make about Ryan Seacrest, because I like listening. I listen to a variety of shows in the morning, but Ryan Seacrest, I think it's Thursdays, or some days they have Ryan's Roses. Have you watched Ryan? Oh,
I don't know what that is.
It's great. It's like, Ryan's Roses is girls call in when they think their boyfriend's cheating on them. And then what happens is someone from like Ryan's show will call the boyfriend or husband or whatever, pretend like they're opening up a flower shop. They're giving free flower deliveries.
Oh, and see where they
like just for
go.
promotion, like, hey, it's like free. Like all we need is like a name of a person and like a note that you want to send them, and we'll send it free of charge just to get the word out there about like the flower shop, whatever. And then, like sometimes they send it to the girlfriend, sometimes they don't.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
it's like, and then Ryan will, they'll be like, oh, I'll send it to like Cynthia, like, oh, I can't wait to see you, whatever. And then Ryan comes in, he's like, who? Hey, this is Ryan Seacrest. Like, who is Cynthia? who is Cynthia? And they're like, wait, what? Although and it was so funny. I used to love this show. And then someone told me that it was fake, and I guess I could have probably guessed it.
But that's
like,
funny.
He's just so into it. I was like, this has to be real. Like, it has to be real, because he's just, yeah. And like Ryan gets so heated about it, and he's like, who is Cynthia? Like, you gotta, and like, yeah. So then at the end they have like a little gavel, like go if they've decided, you know, when they have like a decision as to whether they think the person's guilty.
So dumb. I think it's really awesome.
It's
I would get really into it though.
Yeah,
that's
people
cool.
like call in and chime in. They'd be like, you know, if he wasn't cheating, like, why did you do this and this and this? And like, so people will weigh in.
But investigative. That's funny.
Yeah, investigative journalism, kind of.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's all the time we have on Hey Nothing. This has been Arden Youngblood. Thank you for watching. Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. Okay, we're good. Salad butter in the microwave. You know? Snow peas with 2 dipping sauces, you know, in the microwave. Fava's Italian style in the microwave. You know, you don't need to go to Rome, you know. You can do it. You got it in your microwave. Ragu of wild mushrooms, eggplant with earthy flavors, Irish nachos, potatoes. Oh, okay, so instead of chips, they use potatoes in the Irish nachos. Potatoes are used instead of traditional fried corn chips. 3/4 pound of waxy potatoes thinly sliced. Crisp wonton fans. Wow. I mean, this doesn't end, you know.